Island Turtle here. Welcome to BOMISpirit. This is going to be the monthly intuitive messages for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. There's going to be a part 2 over on Patreon and Vimeo. Links are below for your convenience. I do these about once every 30 days. That's why I say they're monthly. They're not like for January or February. They're just about every 30 days or so. A couple announcements. Well, not a couple, really just one. So some of y'all already know, but I have made a 2024 astrology calendar poster. I'm still trying to get it all like set up as far as like, being able to purchase it. It is available on my Teespring shop, the BOMISpirit Teespring shop. I'm trying to get it on my website. It's kind of a whole thing. You guys know I'm not very tech savvy, but hopefully by the time you actually watch this on YouTube, because I always post these early on Patreon and then on YouTube after the fact. If you're watching this on YouTube, hopefully it's up and running. Either way, there should be information for it linked below if you're wanting that. Okay? All right. Pisces, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Now, I was getting a lot of throat chakra energy with you, which honestly doesn't surprise me. 2024 is going to be a big third eye throat chakra year, amongst other things. But yeah, it feels like something going on with your throat or the way you're communicating or expressing yourself is more free-flowing. Something about it's getting easier. Something about it feels just more open, which I really like for you. Yeah, I'm actually getting the word shedding. Shedding. It feels like you're shedding some sort of restriction or challenge or personal block when it comes to being able to express yourself. Some of you, this is definitely about music. That was coming through pretty strongly. Some of you are actually going to start singing or making music, or if you already are a musician, your music's about to elevate. I was getting that kind of vibe for you. So curious, let's see. Let's go ahead. I'm going to start with the energy oracle cards. Also, Happy New Year. Happy 2024. We're finally in 2024. Finally. I'm recording this on New Year's Day, actually. Any messages or insights for Pisces? Any other messages or insights for Pisces? What's going on for the fishy fish? Yeah, I'm just getting a lot about the throat. I'm just getting a lot about the throat chakra for you. Keep in mind, the week that I am recording this, Mercury is going to be square Neptune all week. I talked about it in a weekly. That could be affecting you if you are watching this just as I'm putting this out. But keep in mind, again, these are timeless. Whenever you come across this is when you're invited to watch this. Any messages or insights for Pisces? Yeah, you're wanting to be clear and concise as you're expressing yourself to people. You don't want to be misconstrued. You don't want to be misunderstood. Some of you, there's this important thing that you actually need to talk about or tell someone about, discuss with somebody, and it's like you want to be very precise in your words. But I keep feeling like something that you've gone through recently is helping you to communicate better. You just feel more open here. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. There's a time factor where it just feels like this has been a time, like a while coming, a long while coming. Oh, Archangel Michael, the root chakra card in reverse, the first chakra, all about safety and security. And it's in reverse. You might be doing some root work. We all were doing some root work in December. The full moon in Cancer made us go through some metaphorical root canals. So to speak. And I think that's what could be affecting your ability to communicate and express yourself easier, more flow, more open. Those are the words that keep coming through as far as your ability to express yourself and communicate or sing or get into music or create. But it seems to be stemming from work that is being done on the root chakra or needs to be done on the root chakra. Take it out as it resonates. We all got free will as far as what we decide to do or work on or focus on. Oh, Pisces. Any other messages or insights for Pisces? Yeah, it's weird. I feel like you're not even really in your water element. I feel like you're in air. I'm getting a lot of air. A lot of air and a lot of earth. I'm not getting a whole lot of fire. I'm not getting a whole lot of water. Anything else for Pisces? I almost called you Gemini. Could be dealing with a Gemini. Could have Gemini in your chart. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. Door to personal healing and happiness in reverse. I keep getting that feeling of long time coming with these two cards being out here for you. long time coming, long time coming, long time coming. Some sort of root restriction or challenge in how you express yourself, how you create, how you sing, how you communicate. It's been a long time coming that it's been needing attention, been needing your attention. Again, I feel like I'm speaking to Pisceans who've already done this. Excuse me, but keep in mind, I read for a lot of people. And so if you haven't gone through that yet, clearly some root work is coming up for you. How you feel safe and secure and stable in your own skin, in the world, etc. Let's see what else wants to come out for my Pisceans. I'm also getting a hiding factor too. Interesting. Those are the only two cards I wanted to come out for you. The root chakra card and the door to personal healing and happiness, both in reverse. I am getting a hiding, Pisces. And I can feel that with your root chakra. I feel like it also is coinciding with like slow energy, lethargy, motivation. Thank you. It's motivation. They just showed me the Eight of Wands. Interesting. Motivation. Your ability to have enough vitality or motivation to like get up and do things, get up and get things done, or also just purely express yourself. I'm just feeling the Eight of Wands energy with you is hard to utilize or get into or embody for whoever I'm reading for. And it's stemming from this. It's stemming from this. It's almost like I feel you like try and then like, I don't know, something pitters out, or it's almost like you get too timid. That's what I'm feeling with you, especially if this is about a specific important conversation that needs to happen. It's like you want to have the conversation, you want to say what you want to say. You want to say what you want to say. But then something in you just like the fire to do it just dies. And it could be out of fear, but it's a root issue. Overall, we do have blossoming abundance in reverse. This is kind of speaking to an ebb state. So everyone goes through cycles of ups and downs. Nothing can ever stay the same. That is like the one finite rule to follow in all the universe. If you're going to follow any rules, nothing can ever stay the same. Sometimes we go into a flow, we hit a high, but then what goes up must come down, and then back around the wheel we go. It's just the nature of things. And I feel like I'm looking at a Piscean. Again, this is your overall energy. I'm reading for a Piscean that is just feeling like they're in a rut. They just don't have the energy. They don't have the drive. It almost feels like being stuck. Maybe even being a little depressed. Maybe even being a little pessimistic. Maybe just wanting to sleep all day and just have life be simple and easy, even though deep down you want more, even though deep down you want to maybe even tell people how you're feeling, or again, have like these very specific conversations that seem to want to come out of you. I keep getting something wants to come out of your throat here. I think most of you have been through this already, and if you haven't, this is temporary. It doesn't have to always be this way. And once you shift out of this, I feel like something, as a result of transmuting or healing something within your root, doing the root work, will open up in your throat. Interesting. Let's pull some other cards from my Pisceans. Let's go to the animals. Using the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck, all the decks I use are linked below. I feel like if any of you have been struggling like financially, it feels more like a bluesy woes kind of energy to me. Like life is just not what you want it to be, more so than financial scares. But if any of you are struggling financially, it's weird. It's this feeling of like you want to do something about it because you don't feel safe in it, but you just don't have the fire. You just don't have the drive. And I know that, like, you know, we started talking about like your throat and everything, and like that's going to come, but clearly there are some of you that are still in this like stuck, kind of low, kind of heavy energy of wanting to make changes and just really lacking the motivation. Pisces. Any messages or insights for Pisces? Let's do a couple more. Pisces. Oh, well, there it is. The frog. An Archangel Michael with the root chakra. The frog is all about emotional purification, emotional cleansing, crying it out, releasing it, grieving it, let it go. Again, this is the root work that wants to be done that will lead to like more of a easier time with communicating and expressing yourself. And again, coming back to music, especially those of you who feel you are some magicians, musicians, or that's something you've always wanted to do, and like now you're going to allow yourself to do it after doing this root work. I feel like you could even potentially write a lot of songs about what it is that you are letting go or grieving. That might even be how it emerges within you. It's almost like you make it part of your catharsis and your therapeutic outlet to work through some of this stuff. It's just grief. Like something just wants to be grieved. Owl on door to personal healing and happiness in reverse. The owl is like a high priestess energy. It does speak of intuition and psychic abilities, but it also speaks to good things to come. You're aware. Again, it's the same thing I keep getting over and over. It's like you do want change. You do want to feel better. You don't want to be in this like heavy place. You don't want to be in this lethargic place. You want to also be very expressive in a way that just you've really clearly struggled to be. You want that. And I feel like the owl's coming out to indicate that you even know that it's possible. That, yeah, you know that it's possible. Yeah, you know that it's possible. That's what I'm getting with the owl. Anything else? Can I get another card for the root chakra? Ooh. I knew the card was going to come out. I should have just called it Stingray on the root chakra card with frog. For those of you who are new, hi, welcome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, all that stuff. But for those who have been with me for a while, you guys already know the Stingray for me is kind of like a King of Cups. It's a card of emotional and spiritual resilience and strength, almost even mastery to an extent, right? It's like here we have this addressing where, I don't want to say where you're weak because that sounds so, wow. It's not weak. It's just where there needs to be some rebalancing, where there needs to be some focus and attention place, where there needs to be some cleaning house, some transmuting, whatever word you want to use for it, right? But in the emotional sense. There's something deep within you, again, a root cause. Could even be family or ancestral stuff or karmic stuff. But anyway, where you just don't feel okay. You don't feel super stable. You don't feel strong on your own. Some of you could struggle with codependency, especially because we have such emotional cards coming out here. With frog to stingray, it almost feels like that emotional purification, cleansing, that moment of just sheer vulnerability to get to like a fortified emotional state. You see what I'm saying? It's almost like being in the Page of Cups energy for the purpose of healing and being open and vulnerable, even if it's just with yourself, and then boom, right? Then you just immediately transmute into that very strong and stable kind of King of Cups energy. You see what I'm saying? It's like emotional fortification is happening for you. Can I get a card for the owl? Can I get a card for the owl for Pisces? I keep getting communication. Maybe the word that's going to come up in part 2. Can I get a card for the owl? Let's see here. Panther. Catharsis. Also can be a card of communication. Kind of can be an intense card of communication, but it's a card of catharsis. Again, knowing door to personal healing and happiness, right? Knowing this purge, this clearing, this catharsis is just important for you right now. It's important for you to get to where you know you can go. That's a better way to put it. It's important for you to get to a state of being that you know is possible for you and a state of being that you want. Let's see what any other cards want to come out, and then we'll do a little time check-in, see if we can pull more cards or not before part 2. Anything else for Pisces? Anything else for Pisces? Some of you, this is about your capacity to like be reciprocal emotionally. I find that Pisceans are very emotional beings. Very different than Cancers, and obviously very different than Scorpios, but a little different. But yeah, because they're showing me the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, some of you, this is coming down to your ability to be like in that reciprocal emotional place with other people. Ooh, very nice with the elk on frog and stingray. Very powerful cards. Both the stingray and elk I consider to be very masculine. I kind of look at stingray as primordial masculine energy, and I look at the elk as the divine masculine principle, and that is what it is in this deck. The King of Pentacles, excuse me. The elk is like the King of Pentacles to me, and the Emperor. It's the ultimate partner kind of card, partner-parent card in this deck, where it's someone who is reliable, who is consistent, who can provide, who can protect, who steps up and can be relied upon. It also can make it look easy, but yeah, it almost, again, it feels like going through this shedding, this clearing, this releasing is helping you to fortify a level of strength within yourself, fortify a strong foundation in your root for yourself that's going to allow you to, again, be in a state of being that you want. One that's happier, one that's more joyful, one that's going from ebb to flow state. I like it. Some of you, this is also grieving a father. That's something that's coming through pretty strongly too. I'm getting a few things here. Some of you, again, like I said, it's about that how you give and take with other people, or lack the ability to do that on an emotional level. Some of you, it's grieving a father figure or a very like masculine archetype, like, oh, even if you didn't have one. Interesting. All right, so I'm definitely getting some themes here of like absentee fathers or like absentee parents. Absentee partners is also coming through too, but in that masculine way where there was this expectation, or maybe even like they were just supposed to, you know, be like that strong, reliable, I am here, I am consistently here for you kind of a force. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of grief around that. But in doing so, it's helping you to have that strength and embody that strength within yourself. Overall, we do have Peacock, not my favorite card. This is usually a very superficial card to me, but in the deck, it speaks of beauty. This is considered a very positive card in this deck, but I never feel it. Like, and I don't know if the artist was going through something on that day that she did the art illustration for this, but every time I look at this card, I just think superficial. I just think mask. I just think distraction, right? It's like I don't ever feel great things from it. But maybe that's just how it is for me. And underneath that, we do have Camel. Both of these cards kind of speak to, like, how do I want to say this? The mundane, the expected. Yeah, the expected. Thank you. The mundane, the expected, societally acceptable. Like, Camel's all about being responsible with your resources and being able to plan ahead and make certain decisions and be disciplined and stick to a routine, so to speak. While Peacock, again, for me, I always feel like it's about appearances. While the author, the illustrator, the person who made this deck feels like it's more about beauty and grace and all of that. So take that as it resonates. But overall, I feel like with these cards coming out, it's speaking to this like image, this like this representative that maybe you've been carrying around, Pisces, that like it feels very controlled. Like actually feels very Virgo, which is your seventh house, but your natural seventh house is what I should say. It just feels controlled. It feels like meeting expectations. It does also feel like masking quite a bit to other people, like you've got it together, like everything's okay. But really, there's a massive cleansing, emotional fortification that wants to happen for you, and a strengthening, really a healing of your root chakra, your own foundation of self. Hold on a second. And that grief I keep getting is circulating around this kind of primordial masculine energy, how that has been absent in your life, or grieving someone who was that for you in your life, whether they're from childhood or presently. Yeah. And it is also to get you to embody this for yourself. Like, you don't need to look outside of yourself for this energy. You don't need to look outside of yourself for this and other people, for them to provide that in your life. That's a codependency kind of a thing. And I was picking up on codependency, right? I was picking up on that. You can be this all on your own. And we all need to. Sorry, so many things. This is also something that's very collective right now, this like primordial masculine energy, the king. I keep meaning to do a video on it. I'm getting there. the king, so to speak, really rising and emerging within all of us. And that's going to be fortifying our root chakras. That's why we've been doing all this root work this last year. And so Pisces, it's clearly coming through in your reading this way too. Okay. All right, Pisces. Again, I still think there's some communication stuff to be coming up for you as a result of this. So very curious to see what that's like, and it's probably going to come up in part 2, which I'm going to go and hop over and do now. Pisces, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope you got a lot out of it, and happy new year, happy 2024. And if you are joining me for part 2, I'll see you soon. And if this is where we depart, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to check out the website, socials, all this stuff linked below, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye, Pisces.